Welcome. It is the day before UFC 277. Amanda Nunes versus Julianna Peña 2. If you're part of the members Discord, you knew I was doing the typical pre-fight tonight, which I've been trying to do for every pay-per-view. The day before every pay-per-view, doing like kind of a longer stream, like a 2-hour stream or so, kind of going over the card. And, sometimes we find out some new information the week of the fight. We have the weigh-in face-offs, the press conference, all that good stuff. But really, I'm just jumping on here. We can talk about really anything about UFC 277. We're probably going to go over my full card predictions. I'm not super confident in some of these early picks because I haven't done a lot of research. But we can talk about the full card predictions if you guys want. And, yeah, okay, I just got a notification from Discord that my stream went live. And really, whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm down to talk about. But we're mainly going to talk about UFC 277, considering it's tomorrow. Now, I'm not particularly pumped for UFC 277. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's a terrible card. I've been defending the card. But there's nothing about this card that just gets me super, super hyped up. That's it. It's not a bad card, but it's got a decent main card. I'm excited for the main card. I will be doing a live post-fight immediately following UFC 277. Guys, do me a favor before we get into any of the questions. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Share the stream if you can. If you're in any MMA communities you can share the stream with, I would greatly appreciate it. We're on the path to 5,000 subscribers. We're at 4,260 subscribers. So, absolute insanity. But the path to 5,000 has just begun, and I would love to hit it before the end of August. So, if you guys can do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the stream. All right, let's read some of these questions. What is going on, French fries? I'll be back in a bit. Okay. Who should Shavkat fight next? I don't know. Maybe Gilbert Burns, but I feel bad doing that to Gilbert Burns. I think that fight would make a lot of sense. What's up, Blaze One Sports? Hope you're doing well. The custom emojis don't pop up on StreamYard, but he's using the Nate Diaz emoji. And still, Pena going to pick that W up again. I'm doubtful of that, but it could be very possible. I'm going to the fight tomorrow. I'm super excited. Not going to lie, Julianna Pena looks super juiced up for this fight. I'm glad you're going, Mario. I hope you have a good time, man. The main card is really, really solid. I'm glad that you're really excited, man. I'm glad that you're really excited. That's awesome. It's cool knowing some people that watch the channel are going live to the fights tomorrow. So tomorrow when I'm watching the pay-per-view live, I'll be thinking of you, Mario. And I hope you have an amazing time. And I hope you wear your full Venom fight kit when you go as well. What's up, Alex? What's up, Jack? What's up, John? Hey, what's going on, pimps? Hope everyone's doing good tonight. We are all doing good. We are all doing good, my friend. Hope you are doing well as well besides you. Def not paying for this card, not worth $70. I've thought about a video idea, and this is kind of a stolen idea of what I used to see on Twitter. Some MMA media guy used to do it on Twitter, but I don't think he does it anymore. I've thought of a video idea of like breaking down cards, how much they're worth. Like this fight's worth $10. This fight is worth $15. This fight is worth $1. This fight's worth nothing. Stuff like that. And I've thought about that's a video idea, but it's kind of super subjective and kind of difficult to do. So, what's up, VT? Since you're not pumped for it, you should live stream while it's on. You're right. I probably should. I've debated about it, man. Sometimes I just like I know I'm going to be doing the post-fight tomorrow, so it's just easier for me to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not making other excuses. But it's just so much easier for me to watch and digest what's going on when I'm not live streaming it. But maybe I should. There's been a couple people who have harassed me to do a live stream for 277. But there's another thing also. The UFC streams are so oversaturated, man. They're just so oversaturated. Everyone's streaming the pay-per-views nowadays. So it's like, I kind of hate doing it because, one, I got to watch it on my monitor. But that's okay. It's not terrible. Then two, I feel like a lot of people don't show up just because they're watching other streams or they're out watching the pay-per-view, stuff like that. So it's one of those things. I'm definitely streaming the pay-per-view before the end of the year. Definitely. May it be tomorrow? If I decide, I will let you know tomorrow afternoon. So I might do a stream. So keep your eyes peeled for that. What is up, Tommy MMA? Real MMA fans are cutting weight for the fights tomorrow? Yeah, exactly. Honestly, prices should change depending on the quality of the card. UFC 276 should not be the same price as 277. The UFC is never going to do that, but I would like that very much. That's right beside you. Full Gunham gear on weight everywhere I go. Always prepared. Exactly. Who should Colby fight next? I don't know. The only option was Hamza, and now he didn't want that fight. It's not happening. So I don't know. The video idea sounds good. Should definitely try it out. I might try it out in the future. Like, how much is UFC 277 really worth? I would be hard to stay consistent on what I should. But I would go over only the pay-per-view main card because that's all you're paying for. Bellator or PFL? I honestly, Bellator, just surely based on pacing. PFL is garbage. Best win in El Kakui's career? Jeez Louise, man. Throwing out the real questions. Best win in probably a Prime RDA. Honestly, probably Prime RDA. That'd be my best guess. Yeah, probably Prime RDA. That'd be his best win, or Prime Barboza. Prime Barboza would be a good one as well. Would you like to see UFC keeping stats on fight camps like City Kickboxing versus ATT? No. I have no interest in that. I have no interest in that at all. More confident in Nunes, Klose, or Moreno? Most confident pick, probably Moreno. Most confident pick out of those three is probably Moreno. I don't trust Amanda Nunes at all. She seems like she's easily broken. So even though I am picking her and I am kind of confident, I don't trust her heart. There's just some people, they start to lose. I've talked about this so many times on stream, in prediction videos. There are some people that begin to lose the fight and they pack it in. And unfortunately, Amanda Nunes is one of them. Or at least she's shown to be one of those. What's going on, Joey? If Pena beats Nunes, do you see her being a long-reigning champ? Probably not. Probably not, honestly. I don't even think Peña's that good. I heard that the streams are oversaturated, but the algorithm might bless you. Could very well be. What I ought to start doing is, look, I'm going to start doing a Friday stream, and if I get enough donations on a Friday stream to cover my pay-per-view on Saturday, then that's how I'm going to start. That's how I'm going to start deciding whether or not I stream the pay-per-view. That's what I might do. So if I get enough donations to cover the pay-per-view the next day, no matter how big the pay-per-view is, if I get those donations on the Friday, then I'll do it. And as the channel grows, that's something that's actually a real possibility. And that's something that I might actually do. I've thought of that idea before. Because then it kind of gives me, okay, now I have to do it. I don't really get the option. I have to do it. If I promised I'll do something, I got to do it. So that's something I might do in the future. Or we'll start the tradition right now. Super hyped that Chito and Dom fight is coming up. Me too. I'm really looking forward to that fight. It's a great fight. It's only a couple weeks away. Poirier is the next heavyweight champion? Potieria? I don't even know what you're saying. Joey, did you see? Yes, I did. That was adorable. That was actually really adorable. The UFC could put the most stacked card of all time, and I still wouldn't pay because I'm a cheap scumbag. Well, there you go, Herb Dean. I doubt they will book Colby versus Burns is the fight I want to see. I have Burns winning. Yeah, I really wanted to see... Hold on. I really wanted to see Colby versus Hamza. Anything less than that sucks for me. But Colby versus Burns is the next best. We live out here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, Derrick. What's going on, my friend? What's going on? Joe, after watching the stare down between Peña and Nunes, it's still 50-50. 50-50. It is, and new or still. Okay. Yeah, the stare down is the best way and the only way to pick fights. That was awesome to see Peña's daughter riding for her. Yes, for sure. Tony won the belt against Kevin. Yeah, I think the belt versus RDA impressed me more. All right, Joe, you have the power to book 2 fights for DS pay-per-view, but you have to use realistic timelines, and you're not allowed to use Dustin versus Chandler. 2 fights to book, and it has to be a realistic timeline. Dude, calm down in the chat there. Realistic timeline. Okay, let's see. Who can we book? You're taking Chandler versus... Book, and I think it's possible to book this fight. Book Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje. That's going to be close because they just had surgeries, I believe, but I don't think it's like a serious surgery. It was a nose surgery, but it could be. I'd like to see that. What else would I like to see on that card? I'd like to see Gilbert Burns versus somebody. So we'll go Fiziev, Gaethje, and then we'll go Fiziev, Gaethje, and Colby Gilbert. I think those make a lot of sense. I think both those fights make a lot of sense. So, there you go. There's 2 fights for you. Okay, NP Music. Thank you for the... I think it's either euros or pounds, dude. I'm not good at differentiating the symbols. People hating on this card, but I think it's a decent night of fights. Maybe not worth 70, but I get all pay-per-views with my BT sub in UK, so I'm cool. That's awesome, man. I think it's a decent night of fights as well. I think I've been a defender of this card. There's been far worse cards. I'll name a few off the top of my head. UFC 257, UFC 258, UFC 272. Yes, UFC 272 is far worse than UFC 277. I will die on that hill. UFC 272, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal was the main event. Garbage card. I think people are overly hating on this card. The entire main card is good fights. And if it still had Luke Rockhold versus Paulo Costa, this would be a B+ card or B- card, somewhere around there. But thank you for the $4.49 pound donation. I think that's over $5 in American. I appreciate it. So we'll throw that towards the pay-per-view stream for tomorrow. So we need about $65 more in donations, and I'll be live streaming UFC 277 tomorrow night. We'll see how that works out. We'll see. Well, that'll be the new tradition. That's what I'm going to do from now on, guys, so you know. Any card, even UFC 280. I'm going to do the pre-fight live stream the day before, and if we get enough donations to cover the cost of the pay-per-view, I will live stream it. Let's see. It's Team Peña all day, win or lose. There you go. Nunes moving gyms is a bad idea. I don't know. I mean, that's purely subjective. How do we know that's a bad idea? Amanda has given the Ronda vibes with her inability to accept the loss. I think she has accepted the loss. I haven't seen what you're saying. If Charles beats Islam, do you think he should call Khabib out of retirement? Yes, I do. I think he should be planning to do that, but I doubt he will. What are your thoughts on 165-pound? Maybe welterweight could move to 175. Is it a good idea? I think it's a good idea. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm not a big fan of change in general. So, like, you're probably right, but I just don't like the thoughts of adding more stuff. Have you heard about Cedric Doumbé? He was #1 ranked in kickboxing. He's making his UFC debut soon. Pretty exciting stuff. Yes, I have. We've been talking about it in the members Discord, but I have to look into him. I haven't really seen too much of him at all. So I will look into that. Brandon Vargas. Sup, Joey? What's up, Dabrowski, a.k.a. Leo? You're the one that's going to hurt a lot of the 70ers. I'm always happy that we need to add some depth to every division, always. What's up, Bernie Mac? So the reason I think Peña tomorrow is because I think Nunes doesn't like adversity. Did a different fighter ever push Amanda and Amanda win? Reminds me a lot of Tyson. He lost all of his hard fights. So I don't know about Tyson, but Nunes does not like adversity. You're definitely right. I've been talking about it on the channel since I started. There are fighters who meet adversity and they pack it in. It's just some people don't have the willpower. Some people do. Julianna Peña has an iron will. You will not break her spirit regardless of what happens. She will still be convinced that she can win. Nunes, not the same. When, it starts to get tough, she starts to fold. So I'm not super confident in Nunes, but I just think she's way far superior as far as skills. Thank you again, MP Music, for the donation. I appreciate it. If Gon wins at UFC Paris, who do you want to see him next? I think Gon versus Blades could be interesting. It all depends how the top of the division plays out, but I agree with you. Would you be surprised if the main event go 5 rounds because Pena never been in a 4 and 5 round fight? I would be surprised. I think either Pena gets a stoppage in the first 3 rounds, or Nunes gets a stoppage in the first 3 rounds, or Nunes fades at some point and gets stopped in the first, before the fight's over, before all 5 rounds are completed. Dombe, skill on the feet are legit. He's powerful, but I think he'd struggle at 170 because all the wrestlers. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Good day, Joe. You heard Joe Rogan mess up the weight in the main event. He said, now take a look at the 2 men around this card. Was low. No, I did not. I did not hear that. UFC 279 will be the worst. We'll see. I hope Dana said, when have we not had a stacked card? I responded to it, the clip. But at the same time, what's on my shirt here? At the same time, he's a promoter. Of course he's going to say that. Within UFC, Pena only lost twice. She was beating Shevchenko and got caught in a sub, still lost in fighting, and lost to one of the best strikers in Geraint Demine. I believe you're you're kind of misrepresenting that. She lost to one of the best strikers in the division, but she got submitted. She's not good. The resume's not good either. The resume's terrible. Who's her best win? Who's her best win? Please do. She's on a 2-fight win streak. She beat a 40-some-year-old Sarah McMahon. Compare 272 to the Diaz cards as it stands. What do you think? 272 is probably better at this point. I don't even need to look because 279 right now is terrible. It's terrible. It's awful. It's ugly. 279 better get some good fights at it. Otherwise, it's a flop. I doubt casuals will buy it at this point. Yeah, I agree with you. Nunes is going to sub her. I have a strong feeling. Wouldn't surprise me. You think so? I feel like she keeps making excuses like being injured, yada, 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 rather than just saying Julianna. From what I haven't been paying super close attention to Amanda Nunes interviews or anything like that, but from what I've heard, she says, Julianna Peña was better that night. That's what I've heard. But I haven't been paying super close attention to stuff like that. That's kind of somewhere I kind of lack. I don't watch, I just spend so much time talking about MMA and the UFC. I don't watch a crap ton of interviews. Compare UFC 272. What's a worst pay-per-view value? I feel like the Diaz card could even be a fight. Yeah, the Diaz card is way worse than 272 as it stands right now. The Diaz card is literally a glorified fight night as it stands right now, even with the main event, in my opinion. Saw Volk today at the weigh-ins. It's crazy seeing him in person, knowing he's the guy to dethrone Max. Yeah, that is insane. Who do you consider the GOAT? Probably Anderson. I love Amanda, though. I just think Peña's gotten to her more than anyone. We'll see. There's also that doubt in the back of her mind that she already lost one. Could be interesting assuming he wins this Saturday. There you go. I like Pena for this fight. There you go. Like the stream. Yeah, run up the likes on the stream, guys. How many likes we got on the stream? Yeah, we got 50 people in here. We only got 17 likes. Yes, I'm talking to you. It takes 1 second to click the like button, and then you help support the channel. So go like the stream immediately. If you don't like the stream, you're dead to me at this point. So I would greatly appreciate it. It takes 1 second, and it helps out the channel. Where was I at? If it goes to the later rounds, Pena all day. Yeah, I could see Pena getting a late round stoppage. I could see Pena in the 4th or 5th. I think Nunes is going to come out super technical and conservative, though, because she's going to be worried about her stamina. If you got to decide who fights Volkanovski next out of Allen, Emmett, Yair, who would you choose? Unfortunately, I would go against everything I stand for and give it to Yair. I don't want to watch Emmett fight Volk. He's going to get decimated. It's not a competitive fight. So I'm going Yair. What's on the line for Derrick Lewis this Saturday? Probably relevancy. If you lose to Pavlovich, the future ain't looking bright, my friend. But he's still going to be popular. He's still going to be exciting because of the power, but his relevance is going to start to die off if he continues to lose. He lost his last fight. got knocked out by Tai Tuivasa the fight before that. He beat Chris Daukaus fight before that. He got TKO'd by Cyril Gane in the title fight. But yeah, Derrick Lewis could be a quick fall from grace. You never know. You never know. So really quick, let's go through my predictions for UFC 277 since that's what we're here for. My UFC 277 pre-fight. I have dedicated prediction videos, breakdowns, and predictions for Julianna Peña versus Amanda Nunes 2, Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France 2, Derrick Lewis versus Sergei Pavlovich, and Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. All of them are on the channel. I have a UFC 277 playlist. So if you want to look at all those predictions in depth, go ahead, find them on the channel, watch them after the stream, watch them before tomorrow. They are all there on the channel. For the main event, Julianna Peña, Amanda Nunes 2, I am going with Amanda Nunes by third round TKO. I think Nunes is better. I think Nunes had a terrible training camp. I think she fell off. I think she did not take Julianna Peña seriously. And I think she lost because of it. And I think she's more motivated than ever. I think she's actually training instead of taking time off and going on vacations with her family and this and that. And also she realized, I got beat. I must have done something wrong in that last camp. So I think she's more motivated than ever. I think she's going to come in. I think she's going to be very conservative early. And I just think she's a far more technical striker than Julianna Peña. Julianna Peña's striking is awful. She's just awful. Absolutely awful. And I know that's hard to say. She beat Amanda Nunes arguably with her striking and then got the submission. But Amanda Nunes quit last fight. I think she's going to come in better condition. I think she's going to be more conservative early, and I think she's going to pick Julianna Peña apart on the feet. I think Amanda Nunes has the advantages everywhere outside of willpower and heart. You can kind of combine those into one. I really believe Amanda's the better striker. Amanda's the better wrestler. Amanda has better jiu-jitsu. Amanda has better submissions. Amanda has a better chin. No, maybe not chin. I'll take that one back. Julianna has better heart and stamina. I would say heart and stamina. Nunes has more power. Nunes has more technical striking. Nunes has more of a variety of attacks. Nunes is just, Nunes in general is just better than Julianna Peña. Skill for skill, she's better. Now, whether she's just fallen off a cliff at this point to never return, that's what we will find out at UFC 277. But I believe the first fight, Nunes just overlooked her, and it ended up costing her title. So I am going with Amanda Nunes, third round TKO. I think she'll pick her apart early. I think she'll be very conservative. I think she'll use her footwork and her head movement, jab, straight right hand. Eventually she'll clip her and put her down and either finish her with TKO, ground and pound, or possibly even get like a submission, like a rear naked choke or jump on something like that. Co-main event, Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. I am going fourth round TKO by Brandon Moreno. I was originally going to go decision for Brandon Moreno, but it's one of those fights where I think Brandon Moreno is just better everywhere outside of power, and I think it's going to be a very competitive fight early, and then it's going to be one of those things where it's just Kai Kara France starts to fade as the fight goes on. And we've never seen him in a 5-round fight. And I think Brandon Moreno is going to be better on the feet. I think Kai Kara France is going to have his moments. He might even win the first round, maybe even be very competitive in the second round, maybe even rock Brandon Moreno. But I think Moreno can out-grapple him. I don't think he can submit him, but I think he can outstrike him. I think he has more. I think he just has more ways to win. I think Kai Kara France has to knock him out early. I think he has to knock him out early. Otherwise, I just don't see him winning. I don't see Kai Kara France winning in the long run. So if you think Kai Kara France is going to win, bet on him to win in the first or second round by KO. But I think Moreno, it's just going to add up. Accumulation. And eventually he's going to tag Kai Kara France, put him down, and finish him off on the ground. Moving on to the featured fight on the main card. Hold on 1 second. Patty Mills with the $20 holla. Appreciate you, my friend. So what's that? That's 20. That's 25 on the stream right now. Look, I don't know if everyone was here earlier. I said, look, if you guys want me to stream, and I'm gonna make this a tradition. Everyone's always asking me, stream this card, stream that card. I'm gonna make it a tradition. Every Friday, I always do a stream before the pay-per-view. If I make enough in the stream to cover my pay-per-view in donations, I will then stream that pay-per-view. So you don't have to if you don't want to. But right now, we're at about 25. So we got what? What is that, 45 to go? 45, right? Yeah, because the pay-per-view is 75. So we got 50 to go. We got 50 to go. If you guys want me to stream UFC 277, that's the new thing we're doing. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's just, for me, it's kind of hard for me to decide whether or not I'm streaming a pay-per-view or not. People are always asking me to stream pay-per-views. I feel like they're kind of oversaturated. So that's going to be the new thing I do, whether I decide I stream a pay-per-view or not. You're under no obligation to donate, but if you want to, you can. And there you go. Patty Mills with a $20 holler right there. Thank you, Patty Mills. I appreciate your support, man. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. Okay, back to the predictions. So, feature fight on the main card, Derrick Lewis, Sergei Pavlovich. Could Derrick Lewis' time have passed him by? It's very possible. It is very, very possible. I have been a person that has picked against Derrick Lewis many of times. When I first saw him coming to the UFC, I was kind of a believer in him. But then I saw him get flatlined by Matt Mitrione. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I don't trust him at all. Derrick Lewis has nuclear power. He can change any fight with one shot. I picked him against Tai Tuivasa. I picked him to lose against Cyril Gane. I picked him to beat Curtis Blades. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm picking Derrick Lewis for now on. But then I saw, Cyril Gane. There's no way he's beating Cyril Gane. So then I was like, oh, man. Now against Chris Daukaus, I said I'm picking Derrick Lewis. I'm picking him against Tai Tuivasa. And now I'm picking him against Sergei Pavlovich. I just think Derrick Lewis has the power. I think he has the speed. And I think Pavlovich doesn't have good head movement. He's got, he's almost been training head movement with Alexei Oleinik. So I think he's going to get clipped. I'm going first round KO by Derrick Lewis. Moving down the card, Alexandre Pantoja versus Alex Perez. This is a tough fight to pick, honestly. And right now I have Alex Perez selected by decision on my Tapology, but I might be changing that pick. I might honestly be changing that pick. Alex Perez has not fought since almost 2 years. He hasn't fought since his title shot at UFC 255. Pantoja is very good everywhere. He's very well-rounded. Man, he's very, very well-rounded. He beat Brandon Moreno in his last fight. That's a solid win to have. He's been out for 11 months himself. He beat Manuel Kopp before that. He lost to Askar Askarov. He beat Matt Schnell by KO. Lost to Davison Figueiredo, which isn't a bad loss to have. I had Alex Perez, and I think Alex Perez can win this fight. And if it wasn't for the long layoff, I'd probably stick with Alex Perez. But I'm going to go Pantoja by decision. I just think he's good everywhere. He does tend to fade, but I think he'll be all right in this fight. I think he'll be all right. It's not like Alex Perez has a crazy output or anything like that. So I'm gonna change my pick on Tapology right now to Alexandre Pantoja by decision. I just can't trust a two-year layoff for Alex Perez, but I'm actually high on Alex Perez. You will very rarely ever hear anybody say that. I am high on Alex Perez. Moving down the card, Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. Love this fight. This is a great fight to open up the main card. You can never count Anthony Smith out. Magomed Ankalaev coming off that very unimpressive win over Thiago Santos. But a lot of people very high on Magomed Ankalaev. His only loss is to Paul Craig in a fight that he was winning where he got triangled in the last second of the third round. I got to go with Magomed Ankalaev. I think Anthony Smith could win this fight. I think he's being vastly underrated. A lot of people are saying apparently he's a massive underdog in this fight. I just think Magomed Ankalaev is better everywhere. I think he can outstrike him technically. A lot of people think Magomedov, he must be some crazy grappler. He's a very good grappler, but I think he'll outstrike Anthony Smith on the feet. I think if he can't, he'll mix in the clinch, which he'll be able to win in the clinch. He'll be able to win on the ground, and I think he will beat Anthony Smith. I'm going Magomed Ankalaev by decision. I think Anthony Smith is too much of a dog to get finished. No way Anthony Smith's going out. But there could be. That would be a massive impressive if he was able to pull it off. Moving down the card, Alex Morono versus Matt Semelsberger. Oh, man. These are two, like, middle of the pack, guys from welterweight. Morono hasn't really beat anyone good. He's coming off the unanimous decision against Mickey Gall. He TKO'd Donald Cerrone like last year, but what does that really mean? He's got the height disadvantage. He's 5'11" to Matt Semelsberger's 6'1". 3-inch reach advantage for Semelsberger. Semelsberger's coming in off that win over AJ Fletcher, but how good is AJ Fletcher really? I don't really know who to pick in this one. I really don't know who to pick in this one, guys. I'm going to go Alex Morono. I think he probably just has a little bit more technical striking. I think he's probably just a little bit better, well-rounded. I'm gonna go Alex Morono by decision in this one. But again, this isn't one I've like extensively researched, or all the other ones I've watched footage on for the most part. I just don't trust Matt Semelsberger to get it done. I'm rooting for Semelsberger because he's from Maryland, which is where I'm from. So I'm rooting for him, but I'm going Alex Morono. I think he has the better wins. I think he's defensively responsible enough to not get caught. If Semelsberger wins, I think he'll probably win by KO or TKO. But I'm going Alex Morono. But I'm not confident in that pick. Moving down the card, Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves. I mean, Drew Dober, been around forever. He has the win against Terrence McKinney in his last fight where he got dropped multiple times. Losses to Brad Riddell, which was a close fight. Lost to Islam Makhachev, which he got dominated in. Not a bad loss to have. But Drew Dober is one of those guys who's very good, but doesn't get any credit for it because he loses every time he gets a step up in competition. But Rafael Alves, I mean, what's his best win? Mark Jacassi, I think is how you say his name. Lost to Demir. I mean, he only has 2 fights in the UFC. So, I don't know. Reach advantage for Drew Dober. Chin advantage for Drew Dober. Drew Dober just has a filthy chin. I'm going to go Drew Dober by second round TKO. I'm going Drew Dober second round TKO. Moving down the card, Don'Tale Mayes versus Hamdy Abdelwahab or whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Literally, I don't even remember these guys' last fights. I'm going to be honest. And it's crazy because Don'Tale Mayes has been in the UFC for a while, coming off Contender Series. I think he's been in the UFC, he's been in the UFC for almost 3 years. Oh, man. See, I have no idea on this one. Okay, so Hamdy is making his UFC debut. I know very little about him. Damn, he has an 8-inch reach disadvantage. A 4-inch height disadvantage. Yeah, I'm going Don'Tale Mayes. I'm going Don'Tale Mayes. I will go Mayes by first round KO. That's what I'm going with. That's not a super educated pick. Again, I don't have time right now to watch, all the film for these fights. Moving down the card, Drakkar Klose versus Rafael García. Drakkar Klose coming in after that win over Brandon Jenkins a couple months ago. Before that was his loss to Beneil Dariush, but he was out for a while. So he's only fought once in the last 2.5 years. Has wins over Christos Gigas, which is a good win. Bobby Green, Lando Venata. Drakkar Klose is very well-rounded. I feel like he's primarily a striker. You have Rafael García coming in off a win over Jesse Ronson, Nathan Levy. Lost to Chris Gutamacher. I don't even know who that is. Lost to Nasrat Haparas. Yeah, I'm going with height advantage and reach, slight height and reach advantage for Drakkar Klose. I'm a believer in Drakkar Klose. I think he's very good, so I'm going to go Drakkar Klose by decision, I guess. I'm going to go Drakkar Klose by decision. Moving down the card, Michael Morales versus Adam Fugitt. I'm going Michael Morales. He's looked super impressive in the UFC. Fast, has knockout power, knocked out Trevin Giles in his last fight. That's his only fight in UFC. Came in off the Contender Series. I think the UFC wants to build this guy up. He's looked very good. I think this is a hand-picked fight for him. He's coming from Adam is coming from LFA. I've never seen him fight before. I'm going Michael Morales. Easy win for Michael Morales. I'm going first round TKO or KO for him. Moving down the card, Yeon Kim versus Joselyne Edwards. I am going to go Joselyne Edwards by decision. I very rarely pick a women's fight to get stopped. I mean, Kim is coming in on 3 losses. Losses to Priscilla Cochera, Molly McCann, Alexa Grasso. So not bad competition. Doesn't really have any good wins. She beat Nadia Kassem, who's 5-1 apparently. Who's 5-1. Joselyne Edwards is decent. She's coming in off the win over Ramona Pascal. Lost to Jessica Rose Clark. Lost to Carol Rosa. I think this is a pick'em fight probably. I don't think either one of these are particularly elite by any means. So I'm just going Joselyne Edwards by decision. I think she'll just outpoint her. She's decently well-rounded. And I just don't trust Kim coming in on a 3-fight losing streak. I can't pick her by any means. Okay, moving down the card. We only have a couple more picks to do. Nick, I can't even pronounce his last name, versus Ihor Potieria. Heavyweight fight on the prelims. Coming in off a win over Kennedy and Chukwe. Ike Villanueva. Alexa Camor, don't even remember who that is. John what? My thing started talking there. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Let's see. Coming off the Contender Series for Potieria. Yeah, I'm going Nick. Guy whose last name I cannot pronounce. 3-inch reach advantage. Height disadvantage. They're about the same age. I really don't know who to pick in this fight at all. I think I'm going to go for... You know what? Let's see. A split decision against Kennedy and Chukwe. You know what? Let's see. Who did I pick on Tapology so far? You know what? I picked Potieria on Tapology. I just haven't seen a lot of his fights. I've definitely seen his Dana White Contender Series fight, but I'm having a hard time recollecting it. Yeah, this is for me. This is a 50-50 fight. I'm gonna switch my pick. I'm gonna go in Ihor Potieria by 3rd round TKO is what I have on Tapology. So that's what I'm sticking with. I made these picks the other day, but I changed some of them. I just kind of throw them out there. So there you go. I pick him. Moving down the card, the first fight on the card, Orion Cosce versus Blood Diamond. I'm not picking Blood Diamond. There's too many guys that get too much hype from just training with certain people. I picked against Blood Diamond in his last fight against Jeremiah Wells. He got finished in the first round rather easily. 34 years old. Gets a lot of hype just because he trains with Izzy. Yeah, I'm not picking Blood Diamond. I'm going Orion Cosce, whatever the heck his name is. And I'll go him by... I don't know. I haven't... Let's see how he won his last few fights. Crucifix, KO. Let me look him up more in depth for a second here. Let's see how he's finishing fights nowadays. Okay. A couple arm bars, a Kimura. Mostly ground and pound finishes, it looks like. And a few submissions. Yeah, he primarily wins by KO or TKO. I am going to go Orion by, I'm going to say 1st round TKO. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking to it. I have decision locked in on here. I'm going to change it right now. I'm going to pick him. I don't trust Blood Diamond. He's time for him to get out the UFC. You can't get so much hype from just training with someone. You can't. So, there you go. There's my full card picks, guys. There's my full card picks. I'll get back to the chat in a second. I probably missed a lot, but I'll try to catch up. Derrick with the $5 holla. Can we get another scary story? Can we get another scary story? Yes, we can. All right, listen. Here we go. I got a great scary story for you, Derrick. Back in, and thank you for the $5 holla. I greatly appreciate you, my friend. I've fallen behind far in the chat. So I'm seeing the most recent messages right now. You're so far behind. So here's a scary story, okay? So look, I was out at work, right? And I got home late at night. I was working nighttime, and I came home at 4 a.m. I got home at 4 a.m. And as I walk in the house is pitch black, okay? And I hear some noise coming from near my living room, in the area of my living room, right? And so I'm like, that sounds unusual. What is that noise? What could it possibly be? So I start, I'm like, this something ain't right here. Something ain't right. So I go to investigate this noise, and I hear this doo-doo-dum, doo-doo-dum, doo-doo-dum noise. And I'm like, what could that be? But it sounded too systematic. I'm like, what is going on here at 4 a.m. at my house? So I get to my living room, and I have a closet. I have like a closet off my living room that it's like my laundry room. It's not really a laundry room. It's more of like a laundry closet, right? And I still hear that noise. And so I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I slowly creep over to the laundry room closet, and I pop it open. And to my surprise, I got the biggest shock of a lifetime. My dryer is on, and all my Venom gear is inside the dryer. And I pop open the dryer door, I pull it all out, and I'm like, oh no, this is dry clean only. Who would do such a thing? And luckily, it wasn't ruined. I was able to salvage it. Apparently, it had only been in there for a few minutes. Apparently, my fiance had went to bed a little bit late and threw the laundry in the dryer, and she totally forgot my Venom gear is dry clean only. So there you go. I was terrified. I thought my Venom gear might be ruined. I only take it to the dry cleaner. I do not put it in the dryer. But luckily, I was able to save it. Thank you to the MMA gods. So there you go. There's a scary story for your $5 donation, Derrick. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, like the stream. I'm dying. I'm gonna try to catch up with the chat now. Let me see. Sorry if I missed your question. You're gonna have to throw it. Back in the chat. I'm gonna look for questions here. French Fries is back. What's up, French Fries? I'm looking for questions. Here. Bro just drew Dober as chinny. Okay. O'Malley will be champ by 2023. We will see. Drew ain't never been KO'd. Getting dropped and recovering just shows how good your chin. Look at that chin. I mean, seriously. Okay. I don't see any questions here. I got Kim after she missed weight. Did not even know she missed weight. What's up, Mario? Blood Diamond's opponent missed weight also. If I see more from Blood, I would be confident in picking him. Yeah, I don't trust him at all. Okay, so that's good enough. I caught up now. A few minutes ruined. How come you never wear your Venom gear on stream? I have. You just missed it. Oh my god. All right. What's up, Joey? How was your day? My day was good. I just peed a little bit, Joey. What was that about? Was this old or was this about the scary story? Hold live chat, dude. Corny. What is going on here? If there's one thing Drew Dober is, it's chinny. You seen that jaw on that kid? Yeah, he looks like the damn Crimson Chin. Bro, mad. What's going on? 10% off Venom website code word MMA Joey. Show us the Venom gear. Rip custom MMA Joey Venom gear. Nah, it's good. It's good. I was able to save it. None of it started peeling. It was good to go. Great story. Yeah, I hope it was worth your donation, my friend. Any tips for someone who's been losing bets? I have a tip that is guaranteed to make you profit, okay? So here's what you do. You go to www.venom.com and you max out your credit card buying full fight kits. And then the second you put it on and start betting, you can never lose a bet. That's my best advice. Second best advice would just be stop betting. I think too many people get caught up in betting. The reason they allow you to bet is because they're making money off of you. Too many people online put up these fronts like, I'm making so much money, this and that. And there is some. There is some that are able to do that. But the vast majority of you guys are just giving up your money to large corporations. That's why I'm not a bettor. So I wish you the best of luck. I think Kaikara France will TKO Brandon Moreno, but I think it's going to be I think it's going to be an excellent fight. I would agree with you on that, but I don't think Kaikara is going to finish him. I mean, he's got a hell of a chin on him. So I just can't see that happening. But eventually your chin's got to give out. You eat enough shots. What you been betting like? Don't bet. There you go. Is it me or is UFC starting to get favorable matchups with stars more now than before? No, I think it's always kind of been like this. Maybe it's super obvious recently, but they've always kind of done this to build people. I'll say this for this card at straight money lines. Any parlays are too risky. There you go. Tested and proven. Who y'all got in the main event? I have Amanda Nunes. Spend your money how you want. Just don't complain if you lose and make sure your bills are paid. Exactly. What is up, Vlad? What's going on, my friend? I've always said MMA is the last sport you need to be betting. Too much goes into it. There you go. If you're wagering amounts you cannot afford to lose, don't. There you go. Yep, Vlad. What's up, Vlad? Just woke up. Big greeting to everyone. I'm with Peña's lads. Okay, there you go. He's with Peña. Peña just has that elite level striking. I think it's the Venom gear that does it. I'm kidding very much. So, who's everyone picking in the chat? Let's find out. Let's do a poll. Who wins? I'm just doing last names. I don't feel like typing it all out. Peña, Nunes. There you go. Go vote in the poll. Okay. Is the UFC doing too many fights? I mean, every week there's a fight night. They've been doing this for years. I would prefer them to do 2 fights a month and have better quality cards. So your answer, if you're looking for my personal opinion, then yes. But based on what the UFC probably gets paid for a certain amount of fight cards, it's the amount of fights they have to do. That's why we're getting Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Xiaonan as a main event. Ew. It's a solid fight, okay? I like that fight. That is not a main event of anything. It's not a main event of anything, okay? That is a garbage main event. I'm ashamed of that main event. So from a fan's perspective, yes. From a business perspective, probably not. These are just names they are throwing on cards. They're just plugging holes. They don't care who it is. I still can't believe Mackenzie Dern versus Yan Xiaonan, a main event. I mean, last year, Ketlin Vieira, Miesha Tate, as she fights off a swarm of bees. This is one thing I really wish the UFC would do. I would prefer, when I first started watching MMA, they did like 1 card a month. And do I want them to go back to that? No, I do not. It would feel weird not having constant UFC fights, okay? It would feel weird. But if they're going to put on these piss poor cards, I'd rather them just combine them with another card and have better. I'd rather have 2 really great cards every month than 4 okay cards. So, that's just my personal opinion. But I guess some people just feel weird when they don't have MMA every single day. It's a thing that I get weird. I was weird at the beginning of the year when we didn't have 3 cards and we didn't have cards for 3 weeks. That was weird. But every single weekend we have fights. And the cards have definitely taken a hit because of it. So I would prefer, I don't know, just cutting down a little bit. I don't even know how much you want to cut it down, and just improving the cards as far as quality of fights. But this card this Saturday is not a bad card. So there you go. Let's see what the poll's looking like right now. Let's see what the poll's looking like. It's 50-50 and nobody's voting. Come on, guys. What is going on here? What is going on here? Everybody go vote in the poll. And why hasn't everybody liked the stream at this point? Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. Let's see if anybody else voted. Okay, some more people are voting. Okay, so let's get back to some questions. What happens if Nunes? What happens to Nunes' career if she somehow loses? She's probably going to retire. I mean, what's she going to do? Go knock off contenders? No, if she loses, she's going to say, I ain't got the drive anymore. I'm not training enough, blah, 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 and I'm retiring. She's already probably made a lot of money just beating up nobodies for the most part. Somebody asked her at the press conference, like, win or lose, you're still the 145-pound champ. That's a make-believe belt. Nunes is, I hate to say it, guys. Nunes is borderline a fake double champ. I will say it's not, because she did have the KO win over Cyborg, which I think is one quality win at 145 pounds. Outside of that, she's just beating up 135ers that are coming up to 145. So I don't know how she goes and defends her 45-pound belt after losing to Peña for a second time. I think they got to retire that division. I think it's bullshit that it still exists. I actually want to make a video on it. It's garbage. The 45 women's division does not exist. I think the main event is as mental as it is physical. Either girl in the wrong headspace, they're likely to get finished. There you go. Peña does the same thing, just quicker. Nunes don't want it anymore. Moving to a gym by yourself is never good. Who's she training with? We'll see. I'd rather we get fights every week and have some lackluster weeks. I disagree with you. Amanda Nunes seems more motivated than ever. She also looks in better shape than her last fight. I pick her. There you go. I accidentally picked Peña, but you never know. She looked great in her first fight. Yeah, like you can't change your pick. In the chat. Better every single weekend to watch fights. Believe me, it's the best sport in the world for a reason. Okay? I'm fine with weak cards, honestly, because there's always good fights. Okay? I think more fights because, in my opinion, MMA is the most exciting sport in the world. And, okay, MMA is better than most sports. I don't know, man. Some Saturdays when I'm sitting here watching fights for 6 hours, and it's just like, ugh. I just want to throw up. Watching some of these cards. Not super recently, but it is what it is. I don't watch other sports as much. I don't really watch any sports. Fine with MMA every single day. Even the worst MMA cards beats baseball. Joe, we can't complain about main events. We sat through Aspen Ladd, Norma Dumont. Can't get worse. Ketlin Vieira, Holly Holm was dog crap. Yeah. It was a shit stain of a card. One card a month is too little. MMA every single weekend is the best. Santos versus Hill is pretty good next weekend. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure. What's up, Dinosaur Diarrhea? Shout out to Dinosaur. Even if the card is crap, I'll watch UFC events. Just hit different. It's the production quality. Same. MMA fans are just kind of spoiled. Be expecting fireworks every week. No other sports like that. There's always a couple stinkers. Sure, that's actually a good thought process to have. UFC is one of the only sports in the world that goes year-round. Very true. Also, I flipped to Blood Diamond and Kim. I hate when somebody misses on the scale. You're a pro. There you go. You can't do that. I have no shame in saying I'm more of a UFC fan than an MMA fan. It's pretty rare that I watch other organizations. It's the production. It's the production quality beside you. A lot of these other organizations don't have a good production value. No big deal, Mr. Diarrhea. True friend. Okay, there you go. I like about 5-6 MMA organizations, but I can watch every single one. There you go. Do you think with all the YouTube channels, it makes the UFC even bigger and more people watching? Probably. I would say probably. Feel like UFC should also start a parallel boxing promotion. What do you think? I have no idea. What do I think of Moreno's change in coaching? What do you think in Moreno's change in coaching is what you're asking me, I think. I don't really have too many thoughts. I mean, I don't even know really who he's training with, to be honest. Yeah, the age might be catching up with her. I got Nunes third round TKO. That's what I got as well. Joey wasn't having Dana White Contender Series fights earlier this week. That's what I don't like. Low-level MMA. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of low-level MMA. It's just not good. And that was low-level MMA. And I don't think I can do that again. Guys, if there's anybody watching the stream right now who is not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of August. That's the new goal. 5K subs before the end of August. So help me out. Subscribe to the channel right this very second. And you will get a massive surprise. I'm just kidding. There's no surprise. But go subscribe to the channel. I threw up when Ngannou was fighting Lewis. Other than that, I'm pretty tolerant. There you go. UFC on a Saturday, NFL on a Sunday. That's the life right there. Yeah, but for me, most of the time, if I watch a pay-per-view, I'm up till like 4 a.m., in post-fight. So I'm going to sleep the next day a little bit, Or at least be exhausted where I don't even want to watch. I got shit to do, I'm not going to watch the game even. Women's featherweight is probably the worst. It's not the worst division because it doesn't exist. What's next if Moreno wins? Not as excited for Moreno Figgy anymore. Well, then you're crazy, Dabrowski. Get out of here. Leave. Ban from the chat. Swinging the ban hammer. No, I'm just kidding. I want Moreno Figgy 4. If Figgy leaves the division or he gets stripped for whatever reason, we will see Moreno versus Pantoja if Pantoja beats Perez. There you go. Nunes, I think, is 35. I don't even know how old she is. Dana White said he likes Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler matchup. Really hoping it happens. I do too. Bellator can be good at times. Did you see the fights on 279? It's the worst card announced. Yeah, I have. It's terrible. The best fight outside the main event's terrible. Johnny Walker, Ian Cutelaba. Garbage. Absolute garbage. I'm excited for One Championship being on Amazon Prime. Hopefully they get better times for Americans. People say the UFC fans but not MMA fans are not real fans of the sport. Okay, fair enough. I tune into PFL depending on who's fighting. I try to catch Perez and Ray Cooper. There's other guys who are savage. I try to watch when I can just because I like to know who's fighting and what's going on. But the production value on PFL and Bellator is nowhere even near there with UFC. They do everything right. I'm a fight of low level too. I am training too. My coach is consistently explaining that the sport has evolved a lot. There you go. Makes sense. Joey, have you mowed your beautiful lawn? That's what I was actually doing before I got on stream. I mowed my lawn, believe it or not. So, yes, I have. Yeah, MMA is the only sport I really closely follow. I used to with boxing, but there's been too many fighters ducking fighters. It just got too exhausting. Yeah, I've never followed boxing at all. Walker no chin, Cutelaba scream got. And Cutelaba doesn't have a chin either. Women's 145 is basically deleted file on a computer. Yeah. Joe, what announcement do you think the UFC will drop Saturday night? Hopefully, John Jones versus Francis Ngannou, MSG. MSG, that's what I'm hoping for. Or Chandler Poirier on 279. If the UFC started a boxing promotion that wouldn't be able to get any good talents because of their exclusive contracts. Yeah, probably. I know nothing, though. I know nothing. Merk Lee, what's going on, my friend? Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a member of the channel. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. If anybody else wants to become a member of the channel, we will be messaging live during UFC 277 in our members Discord. If you want to become a member of the channel, I post a bunch of stuff, behind the scenes stuff, in the Discord. You get members only extra live stream replays. You get members only loyalty badges. You get members only custom emojis to use in the chat as well as the comments. It's $3 a month. The members Discord is worth it alone. You can message me directly. We have a group of about 50 guys in there. We're talking about MMA on a daily basis. The link is in the description, but I will also post it in the chat. If you want to become a member, go sign up. No pressure. It's just extra. If you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, that's fine. But we're in the Discord every single day talking about all the breaking news, talking about all the fights, talking about every little piece of news that comes out. Edson Barboza, Ilia Topuria, talking about it in the Discord. UFC 279 being a shit stain, talking about it in the Discord. Upcoming videos, talking about it in the Discord. When I'm doing random live streams, I let the guys know in the Discord. I'm going to be live streaming tonight in about an hour and a half. I post it in the Discord. So if you enjoyed the channel and you want to support the channel, the link is in the description. I would greatly appreciate it. Merkley, thank you for the $5 donation. You're the GOAT of UFC YouTube. Who's your all-time favorite fighter and what fighter currently you can't stand? GOAT in UFC YouTube. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's a big compliment, man. I don't take that lightly. I appreciate it, Merkley. My all-time favorite fighter is probably Anderson Silva. It comes down to either Anderson Silva or Robbie Lawler. And I'll probably go with Anderson Silva just because he's kind of what brought me to the sport. I was ordering pay-per-views. I watched Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen 1. And I saw Anderson get beat up for 4.5 rounds and pull off the triangle choke. And at this point, I was kind of a casual fan a little bit. And when I saw that, I could not believe it. And I was hooked from pretty much there on out. And Anderson Silva always went out there. People talked about his antics and that he was taunting and this and that. Anderson Silva went out there to put on a show for the fans most of the time. And I watched a lot of the Anderson Silva era. And he holds sentimental value in my heart. So it's probably him. But also, I'm a massive Robbie Lawler fan. At one point in time, he was my favorite fighter to watch. I get it. He's regressed quite a bit. He's older. I have a Robbie Lawler autograph downstairs. Also a Rory McDonald autograph. The stare down in between rounds. I have that picture. It's framed. It's autographed by both guys. One of those two guys. And you could probably throw Jose Aldo into the mix as well. So probably like a 3-way tie between those guys. Really, it's probably a 2-way tie between Silva and Lawler. And then number 2 is probably Aldo. So there you go. Thank you for your compliment, Merkley. Thank you for your $5 donation. Let me know, guys, in the chat. Who is your all-time favorite fighter? Let me know in the chat. I want to know your all-time favorite fighter. So go ahead, throw it in the chat. Also, I threw up when Aspinall and Rockets hurt their limbs. Yeah, it really sucked. It really did suck. Let's go, Joey. Excited for this one. Hopefully I get out of work at a decent time tomorrow. Joshua Andrews, I hope you get out of work at a decent time tomorrow. If you need me to, I will call your boss and let him know that you need off early. Anderson Silva is my number 2 because he's a lefty. Okay. What time the cards start tomorrow? 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Someone fact check that for me. Any chance you would collaborate with MMA Burt? You guys would play well off each other? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about a lot of that, to be honest. But maybe. I met Frankie Edgar in a wrestling tournament. I took a photo with him. That's awesome. Do you think we'll finally see another exciting Adesanya fight when he goes against Pereira? Even if it's not exciting in action, it will be exciting with the tension of the fight itself. Because both guys will be super calculated. So it'll be one of those fights where it may end up being boring, but while we're watching, it's not going to feel boring. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, thanks. I wish my body could look like Mr. Okay, I don't even know what this is about. Early cards throwing me off. I'm from Africa. Welcome to the channel. Lawler's a legend. Yes, he is. I think Pena takes the W with this one. Nunes is talking about retirement by having both belts, meaning she's looking for the end. Never a good sign. Very true. I didn't hear her say that. Robbie Lawler and Mark Hunt. There you go. That's a good combo right there. My favorite fighters are Frankie and Tony. It's a tie. There you go. Hit the target and the bluff. I don't know what we're saying there. All-time favorite, Chuck Liddell. Sam Alvey is my all-time favorite. My all-time favorite is Dominic Cruz. Run up the likes. Yeah, run up the likes on the stream. When I think of favorites, Rampage Jackson always comes to mind. Think Dom is the 135-pound GOAT? Yes, he is. There you go. And Prison Mike even answered you. So, yes, is an all-time GOAT for sure. Who voted in the poll? If you did not vote in the poll, go vote in the poll. If you did not like the stream, like the stream. If you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. The poll is 50-50, so I'm just going to continue to leave it up at this point. It's 50-50. Um, but I didn't realize that many people were picking Pena. I guess they just don't trust Amanda Nunes anymore. They just don't trust her. And it's one of those things where you see what happened. She quit in the first fight. It was hard for me to pick her. After she quit, it was very hard for me to pick her, but I picked her anyway. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Full breakdown and prediction videos all over the channel. So you guys can check those out after the stream. I'm not sure how long we're going to go on the stream. Let's see how long I did my last stream. Maybe we'll try to top that. Or my last pre-fight stream is what I'm saying. Let's take a look. Pre-fight. Okay, apparently this isn't working. Okay, pre-fight. Pre-fight. Let's see how long my 276 pre-fight was. If it'll ever load. We went 2 hours and 24 minutes for our last pre-fight. The one before that, 2.5 hours. Let's see about the one before that. I thought we did a 274 pre-fight too. No, we only done it for the last 2 cards. Okay. So we usually go about 2 hours. 2 hours or so. Where did I go? Where did I lose myself at? Dumbest 135-pound goat. Have you ever did a sport in your life? Yeah, I played a little bit of football. Mirko Krokop would be a close second for me. There you go. I didn't really like to ask negative questions, but what fighters can't you stand? Oh, yeah, I did. I missed that part of your super chat. What fighters can I currently can't stand? Tony Kelly, I find highly annoying. There's other ones, but every time somebody asks me this, I can't think of it. Tony Kelly's number 1. I really don't like Julianna Peña, honestly, which I've told you guys multiple times. But I don't know if she's to the level of I can't stand. Who else? I don't really like Conor. I like watching him fight, but I don't like him. I think he's a piece of shit, and I think a lot of his fans are super annoying. But I wouldn't even know if he would be a can't stand, but I guess kinda. There's other answers to this question. But for some reason I can't think of it. And I told someone recently we were talking about this. To remind me of who it was, but I can't remember. Who else is it? Who else do I can't stand? Who else can I not stand? Jeremy Stevens, he's not in the UFC anymore, but still can't stand him. Well, Tony Kelly's not in the UFC either, but you get my point. You didn't say necessarily UFC fighters. I'm looking at names here. I really don't like Miesha Tate either. Just because she's a terrible fighter, and she's basically been trying to get pushed into a title shot. Also, Henry Cejudo as well. I can't stand Henry Cejudo. I actually can't stand him. I find him highly annoying. So, and Sean O'Malley's getting there, but also kind of is almost already there just because of his fan base. Not even necessarily him. Which I've tried to explain multiple times to people. It's more of his fan base than anything that I find super annoying. Okay, let's continue. After seeing Pena stand up, I just can't pick her. I'm right with you, Matt. I'm right with you. The stand-up is atrocious. I mean, I've never trained any MMA in my life, and I'm pretty sure I got more technical striking than Julianna Peña. There's no right or wrong pick. There's no way to tell what we're going to get. I just think what makes it so interesting. My nose is itching again. My mustache is making my nose itch. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I got Nunes for real. Who's the worst talker? Tito, Rockhold, Usman come to mind. Tito Ortiz is one of the worst talkers ever. Rockhold just comes off as a douche. Usman just comes off kind of cringy. I would throw Cejudo in there as well. Cejudo's a terrible talker, and he thinks he's good at talking shit, so that makes it even worse. There's good reason to pick either fighter, I agree. Every fighter that is unbeatable after a surprising loss, they don't seem to bounce back. You're probably right. I can't stand Usman on the mic. Even if Nunes beats Pena 10 times, I get feeling people will always favor Nunes to beat Pena. I think you meant that the other way, but okay. Did you hear Tony Kelly isn't in the UFC anymore? Yes. He can't stand it. He can't stand O'Malley. I know it. It's more of his fan base. It's more of his fan base than anything. So, bro, I met Tony Kelly in Vegas at the casino after 269. How crazy things turned out. Yeah, you should have told him he'd stop acting like an asshole. Dude's the biggest asshole in MMA. I hate Izzy and Usman. There you go. Usman and Israel on the mic sound like they're telling a scary ghost story. Yeah, we already went through one of those ourselves earlier. Jones is the GOAT. Sure enough. I know Jones is the GOAT, but he's also a piece of shit. There you go. I have to say I like Rogan best for commentary. I think he describes jiu-jitsu grappling exchanges really well. I think Rogan's checked out. I really think he's checked out over the last few years. I don't think he's that good anymore. He used to be really good, but right now I'm not on the Rogan train anymore. How do you feel about Ronda? A product of her time period. They used to act like she was Mike Tyson in his prime. Her striking was always atrocious, and they were acting like she could become a professional boxer at one point in time. And she was beating all bums, but it was a product of her time period that she came into the UFC. And she definitely, without her, would women's MMA be in the UFC? No. I can't stand Colby's 10 push-ups tricks. Yeah, it's not very funny. I'm here in Dallas for the fights. Have a good time. C Circle. Agree about Cejudo. Super annoying narcissist. I think Aljo has redeemed himself. I find Aljo a bit annoying as well. Unpopular opinion, but hoping Kai Kara France gets a W because I don't want to see Figgy Moreno 4. Then it is an unpopular opinion. I want to see Moreno Figgy 4. Henry Cejudo is cringe. Yeah, and he's trying to like own it, but he's still super cringy, and it's not even funny. Joey, I could be your man on the streets. I went to ceremony weigh-ins and Nunes going to win. Follow me on Instagram, man. You can send me some pictures. I'd love to hear about it, man. I don't always have time to, be like super interactive, but it's crazy that you're going all those events. I hope you have a good time. But yeah, if anybody wants to, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MMA Joey C. I'd love to hear what you got to say. I'd love to see some of your pictures from the events. C Circle. I am black belt Taekwondo. I train also kickboxing and MMA and now training MMA. That's awesome, man. Cejudo is cringe disgusting. Most of the best shit talkers don't even speak English these days. Piotr Jan's a pretty good shit talker. So, who will be the bantamweight champ by the end of 2023? Jeez Louise. Who will be the bantamweight champ end of 2023? I'll throw out a wild card. I'll say Usman or Magomedov. Nothing's worse than an itchy nose from a mustache that I need to trim up. Okay. Remember when Dana said Ronda could be Conor? Lol. MMA Burt and MMA Joey is the combo we need. Two humble YouTubers with great opinions. There you go. Product of her time is a perfect way to describe her. Yep, there you go. Perfect description of Ronda Rousey by me. Agree, Rogan checked out. I know what you mean, but I totally like him. Totally know what you mean, though. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. Some people say, like, what do you mean? This or that. Rogan's fine. Rogan's great. But he's checked out at this point. He is checked out at this point. And it's just, for me, I hate all the commentary. I listen to it anyway, but I hate it every time. I literally hate it. Sometimes it is just so off that it pisses me off. I mean, Yan Adesanya commentary was some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. Some of the worst shit I ever seen in my whole life. Cejudo's cringe talk sounds like I took a shit and it created a giant nuclear bomb. Okay. Well, Figgy, Moreno are 1-1-1. Yeah, I need to see the fourth fight. We need to see the fourth fight. What is Fig even hurt with? Supposedly a hand injury. Cejudo, Figgy, and Woodley, some of the worst negotiations of all time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Figgy's like, I'll go to 135. The UFC's like, okay, bro, go ahead. Go ahead. I like Paul Felder. I like Dominic Cruz in commentary. Those two are pretty good. And John Anik's pretty good as well. Would you personally rather be amazing at boxing or wrestling? I'll say boxing. I live in Arizona, so I'm so close to these fights. That's awesome, man. I wish I could go to as many fights. But I've only been to a few because I live so far away. Cannot stand Izzy talk crap to do nothing. Got 10-7 by Strickland at the press conference. Yeah, I guess so. Dom Cruz is okay at commentary. Bisping probably the worst commentator in my opinion. Rogan, Cruz, Felder, DC, Bisping in that order. Yeah, I would agree with most of that. I would say I like Felder probably the best, then Cruz, then probably Rogan, then DC, then Bisping. DC's terrible too. I'm on an island here, but I miss Goldie and Rogan. You're not on an island, Andy. I'm with you, Andy. I am with you. I miss Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg. They were just a one-of-a-kind combination. I go back and watch old fights, and I'm like, damn, I really miss this. So you're not on an island here. John Anik is always great, though. Yeah, John Anik does a great job. Are you going to commentary tomorrow? I'm doing a live post-fight. I might do a stream. I don't know. I've said the new thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Friday pre-fight stream. And if I get enough donations to pay for my pay-per-view, I will then stream the pay-per-view. I think tonight we're at about $30. So we need $40 more in donations and I'll do a UFC 277 stream. But you're under no obligation to do so. But I always I like doing the live post-fights. And then if I do the live stream, it's like, then I got to jump onto the live post-fight right afterwards. And that ends up becoming 4 hours, 5 hours of streaming and sitting in a chair. So it's one of those things. I'm going to stream a pay-per-view before the end of the year. It's just a matter of which one. Joey, do you train? No, I do not. Been to the Apex? No, I have not either. The Spanish commentary, how much does it cost to go to the Apex? How much does a ticket cost? The Spanish commentary is actually good. Oh, I wouldn't know. I don't speak Spanish, but I'm glad it is. I feel like Izzy wouldn't be so hated right now if didn't talk about wowing people before dropping the ball every recent fight. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it makes him look terrible. I'm going to go out there and put on a show. DC can be pretty insightful with his commentary sometimes. Maybe. I don't know. Would you ever go out in the field press conference meet? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would like to eventually start up my own MMA website. That's a dream of mine. Figgy gets destroyed at 135. I agree 100%, Prison Mike. Who do you think's the funniest UFC fighter? I don't know, Paulo Costa on Twitter. Strickland was funny at the press conference. He wanted to punch the audience in the face. I wonder who he's fighting next. Probably Derek Brunson. Bisping is my favorite commentator. I don't care what anyone says. Fair enough. You get your own opinion. What's next for Holloway? I think 55. Probably 55. Underrated topic. Edson Barboza has fought the best competition over his career. He's fought amazing competition. I don't even need to look at it. He's fought everyone who's good. Habib, Tony Ferguson in his prime, just to name a few. Now he's fighting Potieria, who's an up-and-coming killer. Peña wins because Nunes wants to chill with her baby, okay? Do you have one of those comfy gaming chairs? No, I actually have a Herman Miller Aeron, which is one of the nicest chairs you can get. It's actually super comfortable. My old chair that I had, I wouldn't be able to sit in it for a half an hour without dying of pain. This chair I could sit in comfortably for hours on end. Apex tickets are like $1,500, but you got to get the whole week experience, I believe. Okay, $1,600 a ticket. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. If Oliveira beats Islam, where would you rank him all time in terms of lightweights? Number one. I'm just hoping Holloway doesn't have a Tony Ferguson style decline after the Volk fight. Could very well be. I'd rather pay the $1,500 and sit on this Octagon side. Yeah, I think it's more expensive for Octagon side at a pay-per-view. It's probably like $2,000, $2,500 for a cage side at a big pay-per-view. I want Moreno to win, but I have a feeling Kai will get it done. But 5 rounds might be in favor of Moreno. Yeah, I think Moreno gets it done, man. I wouldn't worry about it. Unless Kai KOs him in the first or second round, I don't see Kai winning the fight. I really don't. Apex tickets are $1,400 to $1,600. Damn, that's pretty pricey. But I guess it's probably worth it. Probably a lot of fun. You have to go to Apex. Maybe I'll go before they stop doing them there. I'll try to go. I heard Figgy got about $1 million from his last pay-per-view. Did you hear that? No, I did not hear that. Max Holloway's next move should be to women. Okay, come on. Bisping is probably the most biased commentary. If they all kept simple, it would be way better. Yeah, Bisping and also DC are super biased. Do you think Justin would put a beat down on Max at 55? Unless Max drastically put on some size, then yes. Yes. The Apex card just don't justify their price. I assume it's most business execs that go, probably mingling and whatnot. It has a totally different feel. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to say without actually going. So, to be front row is about $2K, but $1,500 you can sit like third row. I'd probably take a large seat dead center though. Okay. There's every chance Diaz pulls out the last minute and nukes the card. I hope he does. Screw the UFC for that. Holloway is still amazing. Volkanovski's on another level though. Holloway's still amazing. Yes, I agree. But you can't have him just killing off contenders that Volkanovski needs to fight eventually. You just can't. So he's in a tricky spot. He's in no man's land. Nate should pull out. He shouldn't be fighting him. Yeah, I wish he does. I hope he does. A lot of people aren't going to want to hear that. Oh, you're hoping the main event falls out of a pay-per-view? It shouldn't be made. I shouldn't have to make a prediction video on a shitty fight. I really shouldn't. So, I really hope DC isn't announcing the Oliveira. Yeah, oh my God. For the Islam, yeah. I've known several people who have gone to the Apex and they are far from business execs, more like degenerate gamblers. Okay, there you go. Boob has conflicting reports. Joe, do you watch other sports? Very sparingly. Very sparingly. A little bit of football. A tiny, almost non-existent basketball. And a very small little bit of baseball as well. But not much by any means. And not often. Probably less than one per... let's just put it this way. I've not watched a whole game of any of that in the last 2 years. Pull out for what? To stay in the UFC longer? Yeah, very true. I was just thinking the shit on the UFC. I think they should ban DC from commentating when Khabib's crew fights. I hope so. Cedric actually fought Braverdell in kickboxing at 65. Makes you wonder if he can make lightweight in the UFC. There you go. Maybe he could. It's hard to say. Pulling out of the fight does nothing for Day. He'd be back to square one. But he'd get to screw over the UFC a little bit. It's going to be frustrating watching UFC try to convince people to buy why he could beat Hamza. Yeah, Dana's already doing it. Why is everyone afraid Nate will get destroyed by Chimaev? Nate will wear him out and come out victorious. Book it. Look. I like Nate Diaz, okay? I picked Nate Diaz to beat Conor McGregor in the first fight on short notice. I was confident in Nate Diaz. It wasn't just, oh, I'm picking him because I want to be funny or I want to go against the grain. I thought Nate Diaz was a perfect stylistic matchup to beat Conor McGregor in the first fight, okay? He's not beating Hamza Chimaev. Nate Diaz was getting ragdolled by Rory McDonald, okay? Who wasn't even a grappler. And this was when Nate Diaz was closer to his prime. Nate Diaz got ragdolled by Benson Henderson. Nate Diaz is not good defensively in his wrestling, okay? Hamzat is going to beat the living shit out of Nate Diaz. He's going to take him down. He's going to beat him up on the ground. And even if he doesn't take him down, he is going to brutalize the lead leg of Nate Diaz. I think there is a chance that Hamzat Chimaev just absolutely toys with him. Because he doesn't want to go out there. The UFC's probably telling him, don't go out there and just destroy him right away and make everyone right. What will happen is Hamzat will toy with him a little bit, and then maybe finish him in the second or third. And then what's going to happen is Dana White's going to say, look, for everyone who said Nate Diaz couldn't hang in there, he lasted till the third round, and he landed a couple jabs. Nate Diaz is going to get brutalized. Nate Diaz is going to be on the wrong end of a non-consensual beating. Khamzat is going to brutalize that man. It might even be a doctor stoppage. If there's a prop bet for a doctor stoppage, take that bet. Would not surprise me if Khamzat beats the living shit out of him, but Nate does enough to survive. His eyebrows are hanging off. His eyes are busted up. His cheeks are bleeding. His cheeks are bleeding. That sounds funny. And then the doctor stops it in between rounds. Would not surprise me at all. This is a non-competitive fight. Nate Diaz should not be fighting the number 3 ranked welterweight. Nate Diaz isn't even a real welterweight. I'm tired of that myth that was perpetuated by Dana White because he beat Conor. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Nate Diaz is a terrible... Well, Khamzat Chimaev is a terrible stylistic matchup for Nate Diaz. It's just facts. Anyone saying Nate Diaz is going to win that fight, there's nobody that really believes it. And if by some chance, by a miracle, Khamzat Chimaev breaks his big toe kicking the shit out of Nate Diaz and the fight gets stopped and Nate wins, that's his only chance. That is Nate Diaz's only chance. Khamzat Chimaev breaks something while he's beating the shit out of Nate. His arm pops out of socket. He breaks his big toe. Stacking him and just raining down brutal ground and pound. If you think Nate Diaz can be competitive with Khamzat Chimaev, I think you were smoking crack. Okay? That's not a real worldview that is possible to achieve when looking at the set of circumstances that we have and the history of both guys that we have. Khamzat is bigger. Khamzat is stronger. Khamzat is more skilled in the wrestling. Nate Diaz cannot defend the takedowns. I think that Khamzat will outstrike him. I think Khamzat's faster. Khamzat has more power. Khamzat has taken less damage over his career. I mean, stylistically, all Khamzat's strengths are Nate's biggest weaknesses. He's going to get wrecked badly. It's not going to be fun to watch. I'm going to feel sleazy afterwards. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to be happy about it. I will feel sleazy after watching Khamzat Chimaev just beat the living shit out of Nate Diaz. And it's going to be badly. I think he will carry him a little bit. I really do believe that. I think the UFC is going to specifically ask him to do that. I think if Khamzat wanted to, he could finish him in the first minute. But I think Khamzat's going to go out there and try to carry him a little bit and toy with him a little bit and hype up the crowd. I think there's going to be some of this from Khamzat. And I think maybe he doesn't shoot in on a takedown right away. It's not going to be fun to watch. It's not something the fans should be excited for. And it's vindictive matchmaking. And people saying, Nate Diaz asked for it. That's Nate Diaz's pride. The UFC told Nate Diaz essentially, look, we're going to keep offering you Khamzat, and we're going to keep extending your contract when you turn it down. Okay? That's what went on there. Nate Diaz said, okay, basically, the UFC is going to force me to take it, so I'm going to take it anyway. And, instead of Nate crying and saying, I'm going to lose this fight, the UFC forced me to take it, and I'm going to get beat up, Nate's going to say, you know what? I'm a gangster. I asked for this fight. I want Khamzat's bitch ass. He doesn't want the Khamzat fight. He's just letting his pride get to him. And he doesn't want the UFC to continue to extend his contract. That is what's going on here. I thought about making a video about it because a lot of people are saying, oh, Nate Diaz wanted it. The media is saying Nate Diaz is such a badass. He asked for this fight. Nate Diaz knew the only way the UFC is letting him get out is by fighting Khamzat Chimaev. So rather than playing, saying, oh, the UFC forced me into this and I got bodied by the UFC, he's going to say, yeah, I asked for this shit. I want the Khamzat fight. It's not true. You don't think he'd rather Dustin Poirier? You don't think he'd rather Tony Ferguson? You don't think he'd rather even like a Michael Chandler? He did not want Khamzat. It was left as his only option. And that's why this fight was made. It's disgusting. It's reprehensible. I'm disturbed. I honestly don't, unless the card's crazy good, I don't even know if I want to buy this card. I don't even know if I want to talk about it on my channel. Other than to just shit on it. It is a shit stain in the history of the UFC. And Dana can say, and the Nate Diaz fanboys can say, in MMA, anything can happen. Yes, anything can happen. The same as a plane can fall out of the sky. It doesn't matter. Anything can happen is a non-statement, okay? It's a non-statement. I don't care if anything can happen. The 99.9% of probability says that Khamzat is going to bash Nate Diaz's brains in. Nate Diaz is going to leave with a significant amount of CTE. Nate Diaz is going to be busted up. Nate Diaz is just going to be destroyed. And the only reason this fight is being made is because the promotion is unhappy with him. And more than Nate Diaz being unfavorably match made, it just doesn't make sense in the division, okay? If Nate Diaz was number 5 and Khamzat's number 3, okay, even if it's a mismatch, book it. That's fine. But it doesn't even make sense in the division. It makes absolute zero sense. We have an unranked, not even a real welterweight, fighting a number 3 ranked welterweight. Makes zero sense. This is a fight that I could make 17 videos about complaining about, because there's so much to unpack. And what really pisses me off even more than anything is there's so many great matchups we could have gotten for Khamzat Chimaev. There's so many great matchups we could have got for Nate Diaz. And instead, we got to watch this bullshit. Oh, man. Honestly, it disgusts me. And look, if you think that Nate Diaz will beat Khamzat Chimaev, then I believe that you were delusional. It's just not going to happen. All evidence points to a one-sided beatdown. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy that it's a pay-per-view main event. You know, I could stomach it. I could stomach it if it's a feature fight on the main card. I could stomach it. Main event of a pay-per-view? Main event of a pay-per-view? What are we doing here? I don't want to see this shit for $75. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, there's so many websites. I'm not dealing with that bullshit. If you go about it the legal way, $75 to watch Nate Diaz get hit by a fucking train? I don't want to watch that garbage. And honestly, you know, if it wasn't for this channel, I'd probably just outright skip it. Honestly, just out of protest. I thought Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather was bullshit back when it happened. I did not watch it. Damn sure didn't pay for it, but I didn't even watch it. I didn't even want to look up a stream of it. I saw some highlights afterwards, and that's it. The shit was stupid. The shit was a money grab. But that was at least different than this. We have a promotion specifically going out of their way to get an unranked fighter beat up badly because of contractual issues with said fighter. That should not become the norm. That should not become the norm. And it sets a dangerous precedent. I mean, the UFC's already done this plenty of times, but it's just another layer of the UFC's power over fighters. And I think it's sickening that they can pull off something like this and get away with it. And I wish that people don't buy this fight card. Honestly, I don't want anyone to buy it. I might stream that fight card. Maybe I'll stream that, and maybe I'll say, look, guys, please don't go buy this fight card. I'll stream it. I'll talk about it. You can watch my stream. Because I don't want the UFC to make any money off that bullshit main event. It's a piece of shit. It's a shit stain. It's a shit stain main event. And I think that pretty much does it, talking about Nate Diaz, Khamzat Chimaev. I don't remember what the question was. Now we've gone off on like a 5-10 minute rant. But I really am. I mean, as you guys can probably tell, I'm just disgusted by this. I really am. It's just forget about being a fan of Nate. As a fan of MMA, why do I want to see this shit? We might as well book. Who's the scariest fighter in the UFC right now? I don't know. Who would you guys say is Let me know in the chat. Who would you say is the scariest fighter in the UFC right now? Francis Ngannou. We might as well book Francis Ngannou versus the 12-year-old. Why not? We're just into watching, high-ranked fighters beat the shit out of people who don't belong in there with him. Disturbing. Hamez, thank you for the $2 donation. What is going on? What is going on, my friend? Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate you. It means a lot that you're willing to support the channel. Thank you for the $2 euro, £2, whatever it may be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go through some of these comments, because now I've been talking nonstop for 10 minutes without reading any comments. Might not watch that one. I hope you don't. I hope you don't, Prison Mike. Do it for me. If you do it for anyone, skip UFC 279 for me. Hey, Joey, what's next for Hamzat, though, if he does win? Then does he fight Colby? That's the fight I want to see. But my guess is the UFC will just wait it out for a title shot after that. Nate is literally going to get permanent brain damage from this fight. He's going to slur his words even more than he already does after this fight. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Joey, what did you hear Nate actually ask for Ngannou? Dana's just bluffing. Nate was trolling with that shit. Nate was trolling. All of that's true, Joey, but people acting like Nate Diaz's life is in danger is downright nonsense. It's a sanctioned MMA fight. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to die, but you never know. You never know. We'll see. Nate should just put down a huge bet on himself to lose, make as much as possible. There you go. But then what if he wins? I agree with you, Joey, about Nate. And you know what's funny? If somehow Hamzat injures himself in the fight and Nate wins, that doesn't make anything I just said less true. It's still ridiculous to act like a man's in it. I'm not even going to talk about that. Nate's best chance is that Hamzat be way over confident, beating him up and gasses out. Nate catches him with volume shots or a choke. I mean, yeah, I guess, but Hamzat's going to beat the piss out of him. Remember when Hamzat fought 4 times and got hit twice? Yes. It would be smart, to be honest. I would assume a lot of these fighters have to bet for them if they aren't allowed. Yeah. I'm just sad, man. Nate's one of my favorites. Yeah. Did Conor do better than you thought he would versus Floyd? To this day, I've never seen the entire fight. But from what I've heard, and I've seen highlights, I think Floyd just straight up carried him, and Floyd was just looking to put on a show. Because, from what I've seen, Floyd was pressing forward. Floyd never boxed like that in his entire life. He just did it against Conor. It was just a money grab, and Floyd made their people get their money's worth. I think he could have finished him early if he wanted to. Man, they did Nate dirty. Yeah, hope Nate comes out with not too much damage. I hope he taps immediately. Tap out immediately and get out of there. Nate posting he's pissing on the UFC, though. He almost asked for a beatdown. Piss on your employer during negotiations and tell me how that goes for you. I will. I'll let you know. Nate absolutely deserves better. I mean, he's done a lot for the company. Stepping in on short notice against Conor McGregor is no easy feat. And he did it. And he's made the UFC a lot of money. And hold on, what do we got here? What did I just miss? Guys, how come we have 62 people in the chat? We have 62 people in the chat, and we have like 15 people talking. Let me know if you're lurking in the background. How long do you want this stream to go? That's what I need to know. How long do you want this stream to go? Because, if you guys are just here to listen to me rant, at least give me something to rant about. Ask me something you want to hear me rant about. Come on now. To be honest, Jones is the scariest. He uses moves that permanently damage your lens and shit, and he'd be the last person I want to piss off. There you go. Motivated John Jones is super scary. People who watched Nate in 2016 are going to say Nate is going to win because that's the last one they saw. Yeah. I love the UFC. The way they do business sometimes disgusts me. I would agree 100%. I'll watch Diaz Hamzat card just because I get it with the subscription for BT Sport. So I might as well, but it's trash. I also feel like it's going to kill someone some of everyone's goodwill for Hamza. Exactly, I would agree. Yeah, lurker roll call. If you're lurking on the stream, let me know. I need to know if you're lurking on the stream. Um, put a message in the chat if you are lurking in the stream. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, seriously, go subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers soon, guys. I need to get to 5,000 subscribers soon. That's a big goal for me. That's a massive goal for me. So I would appreciate you if you subscribe to the channel this very second. And don't forget to like the stream as well. Run up the likes. This is a highly liked stream already, actually. Floyd is the executive producer of Showtime when he fought Conor. That's how I know it's rigged. There you go. If Prime Nate and Prime Nick tag teamed against Hamza, who would win? 2 versus 1. I'll say Nate and Nick, but who knows? Do you got Nunes or Pena? I'm going Amanda Nunes. Nick Diaz run through Strikeforce was one of my favorite things to watch. I didn't see a lot of that. I've seen some of the highlights, but not a lot. I'm lurking right now, but Arnold Allen versus Cater, how does it play out? Arnold Allen versus Cater. I'll say Arnold Allen stops him. I think he's a little bit quicker. Cater has taken a lot of damage, but that'd be an interesting fight. Is there a particular UFC staff we should blame for 279? Do you think it was Mick Maynard's idea, Sean Shelby? Probably Dana White. I would say Dana White's fault. Motivate John Jones is one of the vicious fighters ever. He really does go out to break bones and tear their limbs. Yeah, I'll never forget when he was pressuring DC. Apparently OG is always lurking. What's up, Torrin Brown? How long until 279? Will Gazi even have time? No, they won't. They won't have time for an 8-week camp. It is 1 month and 1 week away. It's 5 weeks away at this point. Let me take a look. I could be wrong here. I could be wrong. Hold on. What happened? Okay, somebody tagged me in that. Give me 1 second. Let me look this up. I think it's September 10th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 weeks away right now. I didn't think it was 5 weeks. So it is 6 weeks away. That is insanity. That is straight up insanity. So 6 weeks, and we still don't even know who's on the card. We still don't know who's on the card. That's wild. Okay. Hopefully they add more fights this week. I hope we get some announcements soon. What's up, lurkers? Yo, what's up, Joey? Who do you got in Hamza versus Whitaker at 185? I'll take Whitaker. His wrestling defense is too good. His striking is too good. I would take Whitaker all day. Yeah, UFC is ran very mafia-like. The fight business has always been shady, though, right? Yeah, it has been. It has been very shady. If UFC 279 stays the way it is, we're going to get a main card matches that would be early prelim matches on other cards. Yeah, if it stays how it is right now. I mean, I'm not ordering that. No way, shape, or form am I ordering that card. I'll do what I got to do. I'll go somewhere if I have to. GSP and Anderson Silva are my 2 all-time greats, and thinking of adding Jones too. He's just too lethal, but can't stay out of trouble. Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. They got a kind of asterisk, but it is what it is. Weak card tomorrow. I disagree. Torrin Brown. How much of a chance do you think Ihor would have against Volk? I'll say 30%. A solid 30. Damn, 279 could be some injuries. And oh my God, could you imagine? Random, but what would Tony Ferguson's next move? He was back training days after the KO. I wanted the Nate Diaz fight. But if it's not going to be Nate Diaz, I guess book him against Dan Hooker. Don't you dare UFC book him against Jalen Turner or anything. I hope Poirier Chandler gets announced during 277. I agree. Do you think weekly cards have played a role in freak injuries recently? Are fighters being overworked, or do the two not correlate? I don't know. I don't know what's the causation of the freak injuries. Could be bad luck. It could be that they're overworked. It could be fighters not wanting to pull out of fights. They come in already injured. I think it's a combination of all those factors. The fight I would like to see is Hamzat Leon. Exactly. Hamzat Leon, Hamzat Colby, Hamzat Burns 2 even, I'd like to see. Hey, Joey, does Derrick Lewis win tomorrow? Adding him to a parlay, I'm not making crazy. I'm making it is crazy money. I think so. I can't count Derrick Lewis out. I think first round KO for Derrick Lewis. I still think they did Colby dirty, putting him on the prelims. Nobody even mentions his name anymore. Cowboy dirty, okay. Against Jim Miller. Was that on the prelims? I didn't even remember that. But yeah, Cowboy's done, man. Cowboy's done. It's unfortunate, but he's done. Very unfortunate. Conor versus Ferguson needs to be next. That's what I want. That's my personal preference. And that's what I think the UFC may do. So we will see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think the UFC will probably do that because Ferguson's the most manageable opponent for Conor. And the UFC wants Conor to win. So who else are they going to book him against that's an easy win? There's really nobody. There's really nobody there for an easy win. Not that Tony is, but he's the most likely win. Derrick Lewis is going to get knocked out tomorrow. That Russian cat is no joke. There you go. The Russian cat is no joke. I think he's no joke, but I think he's going to get KO'd. I think he's getting KO'd brutally. Damn, the poll is still razor close even with 78 votes. That's insanity. That's insanity. Hamzat Colby gotta happen. Colby becoming the odd man out quickly. Yeah, that's the fight I want to see. Do you think DC would actually come back? No. I still want to see Conor Chandler. I wouldn't mind that either. What was UFC 177 co-main event? You know what's funny? I know this. Right here. Hands up. Hands up. UFC 177 co-main. I believe it was Tony Ferguson, Danny Castillo. Tony Ferguson got taken down each round, but he was throwing elbows off his back, and he got the decision. Tell me if I'm right now. Tell me if I'm right. The main event was TJ Dillashaw versus Joe Soto for the bantamweight title. Joe Soto stepped in on short notice after Renan Barão pulled out for a weight cut issue. Boom. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right. There's no way I Googled that, right? I saw your message. I answered it immediately. I did not type anything. So you're too good. Dude, how weird is that I know that? How weird is that? August 2014. How the F do you remember these, bro? You got a photograph. I have a terrible memory, actually. I have a terrible memory. But for some reason, I can remember events that well. I think it's because I get so excited for them, I just kind of remember. But you guys believe, I mean, there's no way I Googled that, right? I just want to make sure we know that I really got that. And I still haven't Googled it. You guys are just telling me I'm right. MMA Encyclopedia. No way, hands up the whole time. As soon as I read the message, I put my hands up because I knew you weren't going to believe it. I knew it the second I saw the message. I already knew. Bopped in my mind. Boom. Tony Ferguson, Danny Castillo. Tony. Most people would watch that fight nowadays and think Castillo got robbed because Castillo took him down every round. But Tony was just wrecking him with elbows, and I almost elbowed my microphone there. Just wrecking him with elbows from the bottom, and the judges gave Tony Ferguson the decision, and rightfully so. You forget what you say during the stream all the time, but remember the most random pay-per-views. Haha, no way, I believe you. No way you Googled that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, dude, I honestly forget what I say during all the streams. I don't even remember what we talked about half the time tonight. So I never saw that fight. I'll check it out. Wasn't a particularly pleasing fight. But it was okay. UFC 277. Googling it now. Oh, 277. I'm dumb. I Googled 277. That's tomorrow. Betch Cajeda versus Shayna Baszler. Ramsey Ninjum versus Carlos Diego Fajeda. I didn't remember any of those fights. I only remember the main and co-main. But yeah, I remember that main and co-main. I'll give you an easy one. UFC 213 main event and one other fight on the card. UFC 213, I believe, was Whitaker Romero 2. Whitaker Romero 2. Nunes versus somebody was supposed to be on that card, but she pulled out the day of the fight. And I can't remember who else was on the card. It was a solid fight card. It was a solid fight card. It was in June of 2018, I believe. June 2018. I'm trying to think of another fight on the card. I can't remember, but Nunes was on the card fighting someone, but she pulled out the day of the fight. Do you remember the co-main of UFC 163? Co-main of UFC 163. Nope. I can't even remember the main of 163. So 163 must be garbage. 164. I remember what 164 was. I remember what 165 was. Okay, so it was Robert Romero 1. Okay, so I got that wrong. But either way, close enough. What was the main of 163? What was that? What was 163? I'm drawing a blank. It had to be terrible. I'm drawing a complete blank. I remember 164 was Benson versus Perez in August. So 163, I think it was was it in August? 162 was in July. 163. What the hell was 163? I don't know. I'm Googling 163 now. And it's going to hit me, but it's got to be a shit card. Jose Aldo, the Korean Zombie. Damn it! I did remember that because that was originally supposed to be Jose Aldo, Anthony Pettis. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. If I would have thought longer, I would have gotten it. Because 163 was supposed to be Jose Aldo. I should have remembered that. Damn. Because 164 was supposed to be Benson Henderson versus TJ Grant. TJ Grant pulled out of the fight. Meanwhile, a month before, it was supposed to be Jose Aldo versus Pettis. Pettis pulled out of the fight. And then Pettis stepped in to the 164 a month later. So people were like, well, how was he injured if this or that happened? What number of the canceled pay-per-view? 151. Prime Tony versus Fiziev. Who would you pick? Definitely Fiziev. Don't be shocked if Conor fights Jim Miller upon his return. Wouldn't surprise me. Patty versus Jim Miller next. I think that's very possible. I have no idea. I didn't watch 10. That was Korean Zombie Aldo. It was good, I thought. It was it was domination by Aldo. Benson, such a legend, been around forever. Prime's the Beat versus Prime Volk. Prime Volk, for sure. Alexander Volkanovski is one of the best fighters I've ever seen. Definitely pound for pound. Top 3 pound for pound. Probably all time. I mean, he's just so well-rounded. There's no real weakness with Volkanovski. There's really no weakness. There's really no weakness at all. Hold on, let me see what this is. I mean, what's Volkanovski's weakness? Seriously. The striking is well-rounded. The wrestling is well-rounded. The submission defense is well-rounded. The striking's technical. The chin is amazing. The stamina is unbelievable. I really don't know, like, if you had to pick out a flaw of Volkanovski, what would his flaw be? I don't know. I have no answers for that. I have absolutely no answers for that. I don't know what you could say is a weakness of Alexander Volkanovski. Like, I'm trying to pick it apart right now. I don't have one. I don't have one for Volkanovski. He's so defensively sound. He has a great variety of attack. He has one of the best fight IQs I've ever seen. He has some of the best stamina in all the UFC. If there's a weakness in Volk, I can't find it. So, there you go. What's the most dominant fighter you've ever saw? I guess up until he lost Anderson Silva, he was just dominating guys. Biggest beatdown fight you can remember? Anthony Smith, Glover Teixeira. You need to give other fighters a chance against Fiziev. Well, give me someone who I can pick against him, and I will. Volk flaw is being Henry Cejudo's son. That's not even remotely accurate. Fiziev can gas, so there's that. Yeah, Tony could beat him in the later rounds, maybe. Volk's hairline is his only weakness, I guess. Range, but not. He has a longer reach than Holloway, but not really. Yeah, there you go. I guess Volkanovski's weakness is probably his height, but it hasn't been a problem. Yeah, I guess so. But is that really an issue? Is that really an issue? All right, guys, if you have not voted in the poll yet, vote in the poll. If you guys want the stream to continue, look, there's a lot of people lurking here, right? We need questions in the chat for the stream to continue. We got over 50 people in here. Fill the chat with questions. Go vote in the poll. I'm going to end the poll soon. Right now, we're looking at 52% for Julianna Peña, 48% for Amanda Nunes. I'm curious. I'm curious. Who are you picking? Go vote in the poll. And fill the chat with questions. Fill the chat with questions. And maybe we'll do a 2.5 hour stream. We're coming up on 2 hours. We typically do like a 2 hour to 2.5 hour stream the day before fights. This is the last time we will see each other before the pay-per-view. So, it's the last time. So, get the questions in now. And don't forget to like the stream. I don't know if I said that, but like the stream. Vote in the poll. And I think that's it. Charles versus Fiziev. I think Fiziev beats Charles Oliveira. I'm sorry. I'm a big Charles Oliveira believer. But I think Fiziev probably finishes him. But I don't know. Oliveira's striking is just good enough. Where he gets rocked, he goes to the ground. Fiziev doesn't follow him down. Oliveira recovers, he gets up, he clips with Fiziev with something. So I think that's a very compelling fight. That's second most compelling to Oliveira Islam. Brian Ortega versus Bryce Mitchell. I'm going Brian Ortega. Valentina versus Priscilla Cachoeira was a ridiculous beatdown. Yeah, should have been stopped earlier. Can you lay out a path to victory for Sean O'Malley? Check the leg kicks. Stay at range. Use your reach advantage. I don't know. What is his reach advantage even? Let's see what his reach advantage is. Let's see what Piotr Jan versus Sean O'Malley. 5-inch reach advantage, stay at range, land shots at range, a lot of footwork. A lot of footwork is the path to victory for Sean and win a decision. Not going to happen, though. Going to get the legs brutally chopped. 2016 Nate Diaz versus Fiziev. Fiziev wrecks 2016 Nate Diaz badly. I gotten super excited for the main event kind of out of nowhere. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it is a historic fight. Because, I mean, Amanda Nunes is at a fork in the road. And she can either go one way or the other. And we're going to find out tomorrow. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Dominic Cruz, Chito Vera, who you got? I love both. I love both as well. I'm going Marlon Chito Vera. Is Joanna Jędrzejczyk the strawweight GOAT? Probably. No, probably Rose, honestly, even though I hate to say it. Charles is the best right now. I agree. Is Carlos Barza a good fighter? Yes. If you were in a cage, what ref would you want? Jason Herzog. That's enough, Joey. If GSP moved down to lightweight and fought Fiziev, who would win? I don't know what GSP would look like at lightweight, so that's a hard pick. I mean, if he's able to make the cut with ease, then I would pick GSP. That's what she said. 5 inches is big. Trust me, I will trust you. How do you think Lewis is going to do in Texas? Derrick is very big. I think Derrick knocks out Pavlovich or Derrick's done. Either he knocks him out or he's just completely done. We will see, though. We will see. Could you see O'Malley having to move up to featherweight in the future? He's a tall bantamweight. I think he definitely moves up to featherweight in the future. But does he have success there? I don't know. Okay, it looks like that's it for the poll. We have 52% taking Julianna Peña, and we have 48% taking Amanda Nunes. I don't know why I said her name like that. I thought it'd be funny. We are ending that poll. Yeah, but I think Derrick Lewis gets the KO. I think O'Malley eventually moves to featherweight. If he gets wrecked by Piotr Jan, he'll probably blame it on the weight cut. He'll say, I can't cut weight anymore. I'm getting too I'm getting too old for this or something like that. Something like that. Let me sit up in my chair a little bit more. I'm starting to hunch down here. How do you see Gamrot does against both Islam and Charles? I think Gamrot loses to both of those guys. Charles probably subs him. No, Charles finishes him on the feet. I think Islam versus Gamrot would be interesting, but I think Islam could out-grapple Gamrot. Think Guram Kutaladze breaks top 10. Top 10, no, probably top 15. Let's go, Pena. Damn, I'm late. JJ Smoke, where the hell you been? We've been live for 2 hours. What are you doing? What are you doing, my friend? And I think you're in the Discord, too. We post the live streams in the Discord. So, you're missing out. You could easily saw it on the Discord. If anyone wants to join the members Discord, guys, the members Discord, we message in there every day. You know, every live stream I'm going to do. You know, every video I'm putting out. We talk about MMA 24/7 in there. The link is in the description, but I'll also post it in the chat. It's $3 a month. Become a member of the members. Join. Hold on, wait. Join the members Discord right now. Right now, it's worth every penny. It'll be the best $3 you'll ever spend. Everybody who's in there will know. Will know. If you're in there, let everybody know what's up. The members Discord is what's up. Would O'Malley versus Garbrandt make it out of the first? No. One of those guys is getting KO'd, and it's most likely going to be Cody No Chin Garbrandt. Will Cody get another UFC win? Yes. He will fight Ronnie Yaya next. I think the UFC will wait on that matchup. Would Pavlovich range be an issue for Derrick? He struggled against Volkov up until the finish. I think Pavlovich has no head movement. So, no head movement combined with Derrick Lewis's power, I think Derrick Lewis finds him. Derrick Lewis is perpetually losing until he's not. Losing until he's not. So, he's going to find the KO shot and finish him off. I don't know why, but I hope the winner of Smith Ankalaev gets a title shot and Glover Yuri run it back. Doesn't get a title shot. Oh, gets a title shot. And, okay, so you want Glover Yuri and then the winner of Smith Ankalaev. I don't think that timeline is going to work. I think they need to match up the winner of Ankalaev and Smith with Yuri right now. I thought that was most likely, but then Yuri's kind of calling out Ankalaev. I mean, Yuri's kind of calling out Glover Teixeira for the rematch is what I meant. JJ Smoke, for some reason, messages don't show up on the StreamYard when you do that. But thank you, JJ Smoke, for the 2 months of membership. He says, wow, this is cool. You heard it straight from JJ Smoke's lips, not mine. Become a member now. Is Jalen Turner really that good? The best name on his record, Vicente Luque, was where he got brutally KO'd. He's improved vastly since then. Yes, he's very, very good. Is he championship good? I don't know. But he's powerful. He's got a variety of attacks. He has great submission, long limbs, power in all his limbs. And he fought Vicente Luque, at welterweight, I believe. He's now at lightweight. And also, he's gotten much better since then. What fighters could you see winning the title of 2023? Hamzat Chimaev, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Petr Yan, Usman Nurmagomedov, potentially, Weili Zhang, Magomed Ankalaev, Alexandre Pantoja, Rafael Fiziev, just to name a few. Ronnie probably beats Cody too. VT, you're smoking what's in your picture. With some crack, too. If Jones stayed at light heavyweight, do you think Prohaska would have ever got the title? No. He would have lost to John Jones. Is he not the 279 co-main? Who are you talking about? Jalen is so underrated. I don't know if he's underrated, but maybe. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Jalen Turner. I've been a believer in Jalen Turner for a long time. Okay, let me X out of this. 280, guys. By the way, UFC 280 is just looking filthy. Filthy. Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, Aljamain Sterling, TJ Dillashaw, Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, Petr Yan, Sean O'Malley, Beneil Dariush, Mateus Gamrot, Marina Rodriguez, Amanda Lemos, Caitlin Chukagi, and Man Inferior. Magomed Muradov versus Caio Barallo. I mean, can that card get any better? Can that card get any better, guys? If Pena wins tomorrow, what's more likely? She fights Amanda at 45. She fights Valentina at 25. She defends at 35. I think she defends at 35. I don't think she's... What are they going to... She's going to go up and fight Amanda for a third time to get a non-existent belt? No. Bye. I need to go to sleep. Good night. Dinosaur diarrhea. Good night. That's Pickett. Got to hop off, but awesome stream tonight. No problem. Brandon Vargas. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, my friend. Disgusting reach for a lightweight. Insane reach. Okay, Ronnie have absolutely no KOs is crazy. Ronnie Yaya has literally no power. If he KOs Cody Garbrandt needs to just retire from sports in general forever. I don't even want to see him compete in men's softball league in his hometown. Yeah, that'd be terrible. In your opinion, what a win that could cross over Shavkat to Chimaev level hype? Colby Covington. If Shavkat went out there and beat Colby Covington in impressive fashion, I think that would get him close to Chimaev hype. I don't want to see neither Charles or Islam lose. Well, that sucks for you at 280. 278 isn't bad, but it looks unfinished. What is 278 looking like nowadays? What UFC 278? Usman Edwards 2. Paulo Costa, Luke Rockhold, Jose Aldo, Merab Dvalishvili. I don't think it looks incomplete. I think it looks all right. I think it could use one more solid fight. But unfortunately, it doesn't. Can you explain logically how no one ever thinks Nunes threw the fight and was allowed the subs with no hooks in and didn't fight hands at all? She could have had a relative bet $10 million on Pena plus 1,000. I think it's possible, but I just think she quit. I just think it's the simplest answer is usually the most likely. And I think that she just quit. She had no stamina. She just quit there. But I mean, if she did throw it, that's the reason why. But I think that's very unlikely. Because she'd be thrown in jail if they found out. Bryce Mitchell versus Mavsar or Mover, aka Movers. Bryce Mitchell versus Movers Evloev. Is that Mavsar's brother? I've never heard of Movers Evloev. But I'll talk about Bryce Mitchell versus Mavsar Evloev. I think Evloev beats him. Evloev has better striking, and there's no way Bryce Mitchell's out grappling him. They would probably cancel each other out, and he'd get pieced up on the feet by Mavsar. Would the UFC make Pena Nunes 3 after 277 if Nunes wins? Probably. I think we'll get a trilogy. I meant to mention that in my prediction video, but I forgot. Zombie versus Giga. Giga already has a fight against Sadiq Yusuf. I could not remember who it was. So, no, that's not going to happen. Can Aldo beat Merab with takedown defense, or does he get smashed? Yes, Aldo beats Merab, finishes him badly on the feet. Did you hear Potieria versus Barboza got booked? Didn't we talked about this in the Discord, VT? Aren't you Salty Veteran? I thought you changed your name to Salty Veteran on here at one point. Or am I confused? But yes, I did. That's a great fight. Edson Barboza is an absolute savage. It's too bad Mana Fury is no longer fighting in her home country. That does suck. Most pissed you ever got in a main event? Probably Rumble DC 2. Because it felt like Rumble threw the fight. I mean, it was terrible. It was atrocious. It was embarrassing. And I was pissed. Outside of that, there's probably worse ones. But I'm just not thinking of them right now off the top of my head. I have no idea why. I have no idea. She could have quit too because the fight is now huge and notice Dana is making it out to be the biggest rematch in history. Most women flock to money and I see Dana acting fishy bringing Nunes in to do it. I doubt Dana's not doing that. That would ruin his company. Dana's not rigging a fight by any means. Oh yeah, I forgot who was talking. I forgot who I was talking about and I did change my name, but I changed it back to VT. Rolls off the tongue better. Okay. We could just change your Discord nickname to VT, bro. Accident. VY YouTube, okay. VY Tube. If Aldo beats Merab, he should be next, but O'Malley will probably steal it if he wins against Yeon. You're probably right. You're probably right. I could see that as a very likely scenario. Let me check something real quick. What happened here? Um, um, I want to see something. Doesn't look like there's any recent fight news. I was just checking to see if there's anything I missed recently. But, I mean, there's just the same shit, piss poor articles as there always is. Sean O'Malley's his own manager, UFC 277 weigh-ins. Figueiredo, once winner of Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France in Brazil, still open to bantamweight. Well, there you go. So, somebody talked him off the ledge. I'm not watching UFC 277 and bet it. Yeah, there's really nothing, no real news that's come out recently. But yes, I believe Aldo beats Merab, and he should be in next. But if O'Malley beats Yeon, he will stand it. He will steal from him for sure. Do you see any promotion ever surpassing UFC? No. Would Dana have slept Tito if they boxed? No idea. Dana White has become a villain, bro. Notice how the same judges that do an awful job are still working. He doesn't hire them, so it's not Dana's fault. I can't believe Aldo didn't get the next shot and Pillishaw did. Yeah, man, it sucks, but it is what it is. Dana don't pick the judges. Yeah, it's most even as if it's a bigger pay-per-view. It's most as if, I don't know what we're talking about. Do you like the state athletic commissions or you prefer one third-party commission that presides over the entire UFC? I have no idea. Probably just state athletic commissions, but they're all garbage anyway, so none of them are even good. But I don't know. I don't know if condensing it into one system is good because then you have the possibility for shady shit to be going down. So I don't know what the answer is. I hate all the athletic commissions. The Texas Athletic Commission is one of the worst athletic commissions there is. So we'll see. I think it's the Texas Athletic Commission that's really bad. They've done a terrible job in the past. So we'll see how they do tomorrow. I might be only in certain places that the Texas Athletic Commission is even around. Anyone win the Powerball? Heard it goes up to 1.7 billion Tuesday. If not, yeah. Hopefully someone in the chat wins the Powerball. Just send me a cool mill. Could you imagine that? Someone just PayPal's me $1 million. That'd be insanity. Hell, I'd come drive to you and pick it up before I had you PayPal. I don't even want them taking that fee from me. That'll be a lot off of $1 million. If Aldo becomes bantamweight champion, he's seriously in talks for the GOAT. Oh, he's already in talks. But if he became bantamweight champion, he would definitely be. Do you think any UFC fights have ever been rigged? It's possible, but not from the UFC's point of view. The UFC has never rigged a fight. They would ruin their business if it would ever came out that they rigged a fight. It's not worth it. The risk is not worth the reward. It's possible that fighters have thrown fights before. I think that's more possible. But as far as rigging a fight, the UFC's not rigging fights. It would have to be on the fighter themselves to actually throw the fight, and I think that's highly unlikely, but also possible. I don't think it's ever possible the UFC would outright rig a fight. Never. Literally, even in the most beneficial scenario, if that comes out, let's say, oh, they rigged for, and also there's too many variables to rig a fight. There's too many variables. How are you going to rig it and get knocked out? I guess you could rig it by not fighting that well and purposely losing. But to get KO'd, rig it and KO'd, no. And it would just, if even in the most beneficial scenario, let's say they rigged it for Conor to beat Eddie Alvarez. If that comes out, the UFC's done. The UFC is done. Agreed. What happened to Eagle FC? They just disappeared after Junior Dos Santos fight. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't follow them too closely, so I don't know. Um, let's see. What is this? Okay. Agreed. I thought Lewis threw against Taivasa at least kind of gave up at the end. He got face planted with a standing elbow. Pride went bankrupt after WWF fights exposed. There you go. Nunes looked rigged AF. It looked suspicious. I have a video where I talk about it. It just don't add up. The only possible scenario that I can accept is if Nunes threw the fight and she's the only one that knows about it. Look, the way he fell, he almost braced himself for the fall. I disagree. I watched it recently. It looked like he was out cold. It looked like he was out cold to me. So I guess that does it for the stream. We've ran out of questions. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I thought you guys might have wanted a 3-hour stream, but apparently you don't. So, looks like we're going to end it here in a minute. I will be doing a live UFC 277 post-fight tomorrow, immediately following the fights. We will talk about Peña Nunes too. We will talk about Kai Kara France, Brandon Moreno too. We will talk about Derrick Lewis, Sergei Pavlovich. We will talk about Alexandre Pantoja versus Alex Perez. We will talk about Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. We will talk about all these fights tomorrow and maybe some prelims too. But I usually do about an hour and a half post-fight immediately following the fights during the big pay-per-views. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Hopefully we get some good fights. That's all I'm really hoping for. If you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram at MMAJoeyC. That is the Instagram. That is the Instagram. That is the Twitter. I went over my full card picks earlier tonight on this stream. Some of them I didn't really, go in depth about them, but they're on here if you want to go back and rewatch. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me for the UFC 277 pre-fight stream. We're going to do this every Friday before a pay-per-view. If you guys want to join the Discord, we will be messaging live during UFC 277 tomorrow night. The link is down in the description. It's $3 a month. You get a bunch of other benefits as well. But until then, I will see you guys tomorrow for the UFC 277 post-fight. Don't forget to like this stream before you go. And if you really want more content, go watch all my UFC 277 prediction videos. They are on the channel. They are easy to find. Outside of that, that's all I have to say. I will talk to you guys later. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow after UFC 277. And if you're in the members Discord, just hit me up. I'm always down to message. So we'll be talking in there probably a little bit tonight and even tomorrow. And then definitely tomorrow night. So talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night.